Hi guys. Sorry I've been absent for so long, but the flu bug, I guess it was more of a cold bug, but it really grabbed me and held me down for quite a while. So I think you can tell by my voice, I'm still not totally over it, but I'm about 90% there, I think. So I wanted to come back, say hi, and tell you where I've been. And I thought it was a good time of the year just to kind of reflect back on what has happened and how things have totally changed for me as far as art is concerned. Back in June, for some reason, I picked up a scrap of paper and an ink pen and I thought, wonder if I could draw a face. Because I had not really ever tried in all the years that I have been doing art, not really tried a portrait. Back in high school in the 60s, yeah, I'm old, I'm sure I, tried it and wasn't encouraged or whatever, and just never pursued that part of it. I've done all kinds of art and enjoyed lots of different kinds of art, but for whatever reason, that particular day in June, I must have seen something that inspired me to give it a try, and it didn't turn out half bad. And it was a little, one of those little notepads with lined paper that you would keep in your purse, just a little piece of paper like that and a regular old ballpoint pen. And I kind of scribbled it down, and it was like I was kind of encouraged. It wasn't half bad. So I got some decent paper and gathered up some pencils, and the rest has been a lot of practice. Almost 200 faces since June. I found two amazing, encouraging, just awesome artists. They're both here on YouTube, and they both have Facebook groups that are just the best. But the first person I found was the wondrous Jenny Mano, and on Facebook she has Next Generation Art Facebook group, which I will link in the description below. You have to come and visit us, see all the amazing art that is happening there. And she does prompts, 2 photo prompts a month on Sundays, and then Fridays, I guess it is. Friday for the photo prompt, and then every Sunday there is an art prompt. Mostly faces, people. So I thought, well, what better way to push myself than to try Jenny's prompts? And I mean to tell you, this girl, I love her to death. She has been so encouraging and so helpful. And I mean, I'm one of over 1,000 people on this Facebook page, and I'm sure she is just as encouraging and wonderful to every other person that is trying to get better through making art on her Facebook group. So anyway, I started doing those, and I was encouraged by Jenny, and I started to see some progress and improvement. And then through Jenny, I found Karen Campbell. Karen's Facebook group is Awesome Art School. I will also put her link below. And Karen is awesome. She's a huge YouTuber. If you search Karen Campbell Artist, you will find all of her amazing videos. She does more whimsical faces, but her teaching style is one that is easily adaptable to all different styles of portraiture. She has some books out that also would help you if this is an avenue that you're looking to pursue. But anyways, those two ladies have helped me tremendously. I have seen just growth by leaps and bounds in terms of my progress in drawing faces. And like I said, it's been like almost 200 faces so far. And I started with this sketchbook that I got at Dollar General. Yeah, can you say crappy paper? But I filled it. There's 60 faces in here. A lot of them you have probably seen in my little video film strip thingies that I do every once in a while of the faces that I've drawn. So I started with that, and then by the time that filled up, excuse me, I thought, okay, I deserve some better paper, right? And along about that time, I took a class called Quirky Characters with Lucy Cook. And so I got this little sketchbook. It has heavier paper. It may even be watercolor paper. I think this was a visual journal by Strathmore. So I was going to just use it for Lucy's class, which a lot of these little quirky characters are. And then this was a Jenny Mano prompt that I decided I could watercolor, sort of. So anyways, then I filled this up. I finished the class with Lucy, and a lot of those were in here. I think that was the last in September. And then I just finished it up, and there's some other ones that are kind of just stuck in the back here. So that was, I wrote in here how many faces. 60 faces in that book, and 58 in this little one. And then in the meantime, I also bought this one called Reflections, and this is just more sketchbook paper. It's not really a weight for water media. But I got this from Jerry's. It was on sale. It was really cheap, but it's a really nice little book. And so I'm currently still working in this one. There's lots and lots of faces in here. And you can see most of them are marked 18 out of 100, 15 out of 100. These ones back here, 44, 40. Those numbers refer to the Faces Challenge that Karen Campbell from Awesome Art School is doing, and it's called 100 Fun Fab Faces. And so we're all using that hashtag, so if you're using social media, just search that hashtag and you will see thousands of really awesome faces that we've all been drawing for the last couple of months now. But anyway, so then I started filling this one up. And I mean, if you sit and look through, which I'm not going to make you, and along the way I kind of discovered, I don't know if this is even in a frame, I kind of discovered this style, which I really, really like, just kind of semi-realistic with scribbles, I guess. So, yeah, and I have a tendency to make large eyes for some reason. Yeah, so profiles are not my thing. That one turned out really bad, but that was this last prompt from Karen. So I tried, and in my toned sketchbook, I got a little bit better, which is encouraging because I've always hated trying to draw profiles since I started drawing people, because they never turn out. But this toned paper, this is a Strathmore little sketchbook, and so I started doing charcoal sketching in here on this toned paper, and I really like it a lot. Just having that middle value already there makes a huge difference. So I don't have a whole lot in here, but yeah, there was a profile that was, this one was inspired by an Ivy Newport drawing that I saw on Ivy's on Ivy's website, I think. So that was a photo reference from Unsplash, and that one turned out okay. So anyways, as you can see, I hope that I have improved in my drawings. I wish I had that little, it's here, I have it somewhere, that little first sketch I made. Then I took this little pamphlet type booklet, and I decided to do some charcoal drawing on top of those pages. So I've only done a couple in here, and I really like the way those turned out too, so I'm sure I will do some more in there. So that was my journey so far the last 6 months. 200 faces in the last 6 months in those journals. And then you probably remember way back when I first started doing my art journals, which was, I think, in May. And I started out with this little handwriting booklet from, I don't know, probably the 20s, and just altered these pages, glued them together, and just arted on top of them. And I filled this up, and by that time I was just really, really smitten. This was May to July for this one. And then I grabbed another old book and filled this one up. And this was June, July, and August. And I did a flip through of this one if you want to see. Most of the pages are in a flip through that I did earlier. There are some faces in there too. I guess I could count those in my faces numbers. And then I went to the Dilutions journal, and I must have started this in August, I think. And I'll just flip through these. This is not filled up. I am trying watercolor. These were a couple that I did early in August. I haven't practiced it a whole lot, but I do want to do that here before the end of the year. Do some more watercoloring. Just so much I want to do. So much. And then I come in here and all these supplies are looking me in the eye, saying, use me, use me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you have to have all the supplies, then you have to use them. That's my rule. If you're not going to use it, don't buy it. That's stuck together. So that's kind of where I'm at. I like this one. There is a video just on this spread if you're interested in it. The way I cut these pages and made pockets and added tags, and the rusted cheesecloth. Yeah, so I haven't done anything in here since then, which that was like a big stall for me, because there for a while I was just doing, a page at least every other day in there. And then I made this journal out of some old book covers. It was an old Ohio history book, and this is going to be my ancestors journal. So I started documenting when my grandfather came over to the States from England. He went to work in the mines, and after he had been here for a while, he got his miner's certificate of citizenship, which essentially made him a citizen of the United States. That was in 1896, and then that's when he met my grandmother. They ended up having, I think she had 13 babies, but only 8 survived. And she died when the last babies were 3 months old. It was a boy and girl set of twins. When they were 3 months old, my grandmother, great-grandmother, not my grandmother, this is my great-grandparents, but when my great-grandmother died, the twins were 3 months old, and the oldest, my Aunt Ora, was 13 years old. And then only a couple years later, my great-grandfather died. And so the 8 siblings basically stayed together and raised each other. And my grandmother, my mom's mom, was one of the 8 kids that were left orphaned. So this was a newspaper article that talked about how they stayed together and raised each other. I just started this, and I put in some old book paper, some paper bags that I wet them and scrunched them and dried them, some drop cloth canvas, old piece of ledger paper that I tea dyed. Oh, what else is in here? Some book pages out of a book. It was out of the book that this cover came from. Some tracing paper. Here's another piece of the canvas that I did do some art on, some stitching. So anyways, I will work on this bit by bit, and that was the other thing that I accomplished this year, at least started this year. So I just wanted to say, hey, it's been a good year. I owe a lot of what I have accomplished to inspiration and encouragement from a lot of other really awesome people that are out there and are YouTubing and helping people on Facebook. There's just so much encouragement and help in the art community, and I'm so grateful for it all. So I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you are celebrating at this season, and that everyone has a great start to a really prosperous, fun, healthy 2019. I can't believe it's 2019, but here we are. So have a good one, everybody. In the meantime, go make some art. Bye.